Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Is Carl going to sue you? Are you going to be talking smack on the internet? Are you going to be the next idiot? Let's see. Let's see. Guys, you guys want to cancel my cash cow out there. What's going on, man? You guys want to go hard on Carl? I don't want Carl gone. No. That's not how this works. That's how this works at all. You guys have it all wrong. Man, there's a lot of idiots on the internet, so let's make fun of them, right? Let's make fun of them. First of all, let me tell you, what I'm about to tell you is not legal or financial advice. It's common sense. But if you're going to be in the pursuit of canceling Carl with evidence from the internet, you really should contact a professional, right? To tell you all the bad ideas you are having. Now, guys, I am taking a break here from making DFD charts and this new system analysis project that I have going on to talk to you about these things, right? I talk to you about this stuff because it's fun. I talk to you about this stuff because, when I'm at work, I want to talk about something completely silly and different, right? But it's all fun and games, right? It's all fun and games until somebody gets sued. It's all fun and games until you cross that line. It's all fun and games until you get all gassed up, like you guys gassed up Karl Jobst into suing Billy Mitchell. And there's plenty of people out there, right? They want you to be brave as a creator. They want you to do all these things. They won't do them themselves, right? They don't have the stones to do it themselves, right? Look, I have enough balls to tell anybody out there to go to hell, right? This is just a fun channel, right? That you can just stop by, while you're taking a dump. You just listen to this crap, or while you're stuck at work, or wherever. But what you guys want to do is cancel Carl. I don't want Carl gone. No. That's not how this works. That is not how this works. But before I continue, let's hear from our sponsor. Billy Mitchell here, video game player of eternity. Wow, he got an upgrade. And if you're looking for the fully cooked flavor of my sauce, then try my brand new Jobst. Jobst? Wait, what? I mean habanero sauce. Oh, guys, well, this is like Batman, right? In Batman, remember the Joker told him, "No, I don't want you gone. I need you here." Right? There's nothing better than talking about idiots on the internet that gassed up into, libeling other people on the internet and then getting sued, then get completely trashed, right? And then we can talk about them because it's so ridiculous, right? But you don't want to be the story. You want to listen to the story, right? I don't want to be the subject of the story. But a lot of people want to go in them. Hey, guys, you can make as many videos as you want, right? Make all the videos you want. Make the videos, that you think are going to be right. And as soon as you get sued, I will cover you, right? I will cover you. My friend here, right? He's in trouble right now. He's in the hole, right? He already spent $1 million. Hopefully, right? Hopefully, he will, get that money from Notch, the 600,000. That reminds me, we got to hit up Notch to make sure that Karl Jobst gets his money, right? And then he's going to have 350 large plus interest. Now, that is a man that's desperate for money. Do you want him to sell his house? No, of course you don't. You want him to keep on going. You want his family to be safe. Now, one thing he can do is sue idiots on the internet making claims based over Reddit posts, dead websites, and things that are erased, right? And since they're not smart enough to call lawyers, they're just putting stuff out there just like their hero Carl or the person they hate, Carl. You do that, right? Now, if you're living in your mom's basement or, you're broke as a joke, you're on unemployment, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to go after you. If you have property, if you have resources, then it makes sense to sue somebody making libelous claims. The only claims I can make about Carl is that he's not a real journalist, that he's a failed pickup artist, and as his friend said, he believes that he's a failed, pale pussy populist, as he put it. But now you guys want to expose him for things that you claim that are on the internet that he put up there. And I believe that you believe that. I do believe that you believe that. But when you cross the line is when you try to educate other people, especially guys. My favorite is when you have white guilt liberals trying to educate minorities on racism, thinking that they know more about racism. And right now they're crying and bleeding out their anuses because of Donald Trump deporting people. You have to do this because if you don't speak up, shut up, shut your pie hole. When were you when Obama was deporting everybody? Right? It wasn't on the news, so you didn't speak up. Right? There was no hit pieces on that. Let me tell you, he deported more people than anybody. Right? That's a fact. Nobody talked about it. Yeah, you didn't see it on the news, and you certainly didn't have, all these people on the internet claiming racism. And the part that I adore, that these people go to college. I went to college to go learn something, to learn skills, right? These guys go to college to become stupider. There's no other way to put it. These guys wouldn't know, right, what racism is if it just slapped them in the face while they're committed, and at the same time they commit racism by thinking that minorities don't know any better of what they're doing. Right? If Hispanic males in California didn't vote for Kamala, do you think it's because they're stupid, or do you think it's because she was putting people in jail even longer than she needed to? Right? Tulsi Gabbard knew that. That's why she destroyed her in a debate, because she did that over weed. That's what she was doing. So what do you think? How do you think these guys are going to vote? Do you think they're going to vote for a woman that actually puts them in jail, or are they going to vote for a guy with mean tweets? It makes common sense, but if you didn't live it, then it makes no sense to you, because you're just on the internet talking shit. That's what you do, right? And immigrants come from countries where there's actual fascists, right? You can talk about fascists on the internet. It's all funny. Hey, he's a fascist, and well, if he's a fascist, why are you on the internet talking smack? You wouldn't be able to do that in a fascist country. Not for long. You could do it for a while before they pick you up. And they will pick you up, right? Racism, and I mean if you want some real racism, you guys need to travel, right? You wouldn't know racist if he came up to you and smacked you in the ass, right? Real racism, let's see here. There's plenty in Mexico, right? There's plenty in Mexico. When the Yazis left, look at where they went, right? You want to see some real up close racism, you go to South America, right? You go to certain countries where it was illegal for blacks to actually move in. It was in the Constitution, right? You go to where a lot of the fascist Italians went. Right? You want to go where the Germans went, and then you can file some real ones. They have no remorse, right? And it still exists there. You guys are so oblivious that you think that the only racists that exist in the world are white people from America. You are fucking wrong. You are so freaking clueless. You really do need to travel. Most of the racism that I've ever experienced doesn't come from white people. And I've had it, a couple of times, especially like the ones that assume that I don't know anything about politics, that I'm uneducated. I know more about the founding fathers and their writings than most people out there, right? That's why I'm a fan of Madison. Why I'm a fan of certain writings of Adams, right? And certain things that they wrote as concepts, right, for freedom of individuals. But they're not the only ones, right? But when I vote, I'm fully aware how I vote and when I vote and who I voted for, when I'm not voting for. I don't vote based on my feelings. That's what pale pussy populists do. And internet, wise guys, right? You want to travel, you go to Thailand, right? You get some Nazi chic going on there, right? This is not Germany, right? This is not the U.S. This is Thailand. They have a restaurant. I don't know if it's still up or not after all the hoopla, right? It's called Adolf's Chicken. And instead of the colonel It was Adolf on there. Argentina, huge problem, right? As well as other countries. And it's fresh. It's right in your face, right? Oh, Mexico's such an accepting country. Ask the blacks that are in Mexico right now as immigrants if they're having a good time. Who do you think is being racist in Mexico? Do you think it's white people being racist in Mexico? Do you think white people are discriminating black people in Mexico? No. There's a huge racism problem in Mexico, and sometimes between Mexicans. And this happens in every Latin American country. It's not only Mexico. And it's the same thing, everywhere. Right? There's classes of people. There's lighter-skinned people that are racist towards other people. There's even dark-skinned, right? There's even dark-skinned people that are racist against other dark-skinned people because they're indigenous. So please do not think that you're going to educate immigrants on racism from your couch because you went to college and you're white and you feel guilt. Shut up. Just shut up. Shut your pie hole. Don't know what the hell you're talking about. So please, what you should do is make all these claims about Karl Jobst, right? Because what's going to happen, let me tell you. What's probably going to happen, again, not legal advice, but we can watch it happen gloriously. You make these claims, right? Because you have clippings of websites. And he goes, oh, okay, well, is that what you think? Okay, sure. Let me go to the U.S. The U.S. is cheaper. You say, I'm going to sue you with $1,300, and I'm going to say this, right? Now you're on the hook. And as soon as he starts spending money on discovery, all your internet sites, every provider that you have is going to give you up because they have to with a subpoena, right? You're going to have to get a lawyer. And if you're going to get a good one, you're going to need 10 racks. 5 for the retainer, because they're not taking any minimum than that. If you find a lawyer that takes less than $5,000, you're already screwed because it's not a good lawyer. Right? And that retainer is going to evaporate within 2 weeks. So you need another $5,000 on standby. And the lawyer is going to end up telling you something like this. Look, dude, we can settle for 25 right now, or you can spend 50 or more in the trial. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Oh, you want to be righteous? Yeah, go ahead and spend 100, 200,000 if you have them. But if you had 200,000, why are you wasting your time combing the internet through posts? Right? But you go right ahead, right? Because he can do this several times, right? With and hopefully he does. So we have more things to talk about here. I can go through every case. Right, and let's say Karl's, he owes, he spent $1 million so far. Let's get him his money. We got to call out Notch to make sure he gets the $600,000, right? So he gets a hit $600,000. He only owes $350 plus interest. That's $394. That's like $260,000 American, right? So all he needs is 26 idiots to settle for $10,000, and he wipes it all off. It's like a brand new day, right? He can keep on going. At your expense, right? At your expense. I have balls enough to tell everybody that wants me to do something like this to go to hell, right? Especially people that are trying to educate me on what racism is and what racial relations are in the U.S. Man, shut up. Just shut up, right? The most racist thing you can do is tell minorities how they should feel about being a minority in America. Just shut your pie hole. It makes you look dumb, right? Let me tell you where I live. See, I got on my right side, my neighbor is a diehard Trump supporter. And one of his favorite things to do is talk to my nephew that comes over. My nephew looks like Manny Pacquiao, right? But he's Hispanic, right? And he's probably darker than Manny. And this guy wears Trump socks. These guys are into conspiracy theories and all this stuff, and man, let me tell you, they get into the weeds in this stuff, right? On the other side, right, my other neighbor's white, and they're like, they're religious and very liberal, right? Very liberal. They're both nice people, right? We don't sit here and talk about politics. My neighbor on the right, I think everybody's aware that he's okay as long as nobody dates his daughter. But that's, you know what? That's the kind of, if you ask any minority, right? Most of them will tell you, I want the racism right in my face. I want somebody telling me, right, that they don't like me because, I'm Hispanic or whatever the hell it is. What we don't like, right, is idiots that assume what we should think and how we should vote because we are minority, especially if they're not. It's annoying, right? That's why you lost the election, because you have preachy white people with white guilt trying to tell other people how to live when they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I hope, and I really hope, all these guys go in there and sue the crap out of Karl and try to get into battles with him, because I will enjoy it. That is content, right? We'll sit here and enjoy it because that's what the channel's about. Looking at these situations in gaming that happen over video games, right? Over video games, right? And these people gas up people like Karl, and Karl fell for it hook, line, and sinker, right? They gassed him up. You need to do this to Billy. You need to call him this. You need to do that, and the other. He believed it. I don't know what skeletons are in his closet, right? But let me tell you what's going to happen if you go to court, right? With this quote unquote proof that you have. I can point to it and say, oh, look, it's over there, right? It's over there if you want to go look at it, right? But if you're sitting there and claiming that it's absolutely true, what's going to happen is when you get to court, he's going to hire an expert claiming that could have been tampered, and there goes your evidence. Because the only thing you can do is hire more experts, which you already broke, right? Are you going to spend $50,000, $60,000 on an expert after you just dropped 10? Are you insane? Right? And people that are getting sued are not people sitting in their basement living with their parents. No, the people that are getting sued are people that have homes, people that have property. He's not going to sue somebody that's broke as a joke. So whoever you guys convince to go after him for these allegations, please let me know and I will cover it. But it's not going to be me, right? And if you have a business professional with decades of experience telling you that it's not a good idea, and on top of that, you have a lawyer out there that'll just tickle on it but not really go into it, that should tell you something, right? But you guys do you, right? You guys go ahead, and if you have the stones, go ahead and do it. Publish it, make your video, and make all the claims you want, and then I'll cover you on the channel as just another idiot on the internet, fighting over video games, making stupid claims. And you'll just be part of the content. Other than that, guys, just travel, really travel. That's what I recommend to people, because that'll give you a different perspective. It'll give you a love for your country. I love my country. I love the place that I'm in. I love the freedoms that I have. And if you don't, go to whatever country you think is better and live there before you start talking smack. People that hate China should go to China. I'm surprised how many people hate China. I've never been there. Right? And I'm telling you this, you never know a country until you get drunk there. You don't know Mexico until you're drunk in Mexico. You don't know China until you get drunk in China. Be happy. Don't get into these internet beefs so you don't become part of the show. But if you do, be sure that I will cover you. All right, humans, I will catch you on the next one. Take care.